How's it going, folks? Stu here, long time no see. Much like Cameron Diaz's film career post 2014 smash hit musical reboot Annie, kind of just disappeared, didn't I? But fear not, I am back now with more of the same content. Now, a while back, near the start of whatever this has ended up being, I put out this little ditty. Yeah, look, graphical wizardry right there. And in that, I ran through some of the things I've been watching and viewing during lockdown when we've all got way too much time to be watching and binging things. And now, nearly 3 months later, I'm doing it all again, aren't I? Doing it all again. Recycling's good, people, all right? I'm saving the planet here. One video every 3 months at a time. We're sort of in that weird stretch, you know, where people are sort of hobbling slowly out of more extreme lockdowns and things are sort of attempting to get back to, I guess, kind of normal. Sorry to everyone in America. I don't have a joke there. I'm just sorry. So whilst it's not really still technically a lockdown over here are some more lockdown watches. Before we carry on though, this is your final warning to slap on the kettle and get a tea on the go. I'm serious. I'm warning you, Kevin. Get that Yorkshire Gold in the mug and get ready to go, bitch. Genuinely, I'd die for Yorkshire tea. Oh, and also, let me know what you've been watching down there. The comments, not my penis. Come on, Kevin. Really. Unlike last time where I split between movies and TV shows, this time I'm adding a third dimension. I know, call me Christopher Nolan. Don't. I'm going to split the films I've been watching up into sort of first-time watches and rewatches because it feels right, keep things fresh, why the shit not? Just a load up on that bad boy before we get railing. Greener Grass. Let's just jump straight in with that one, no setup whatsoever. Is a film which I've been really excited to check out for a long time. I'd seen a bunch of people had caught it, I think at like Sundance where it first was out, and everyone was like, this is a weird, crazy film, but the good kind of weird crazy. And immediately I thought, I need it in my eyeballs. But I was actually surprised at how much more it was than just weird for the sake of being weird. It's got something to say. It's got a kind of, I guess you could call it a message behind its batshit crazy humor. And I like that. It adds a kind of another level to it. Even though I would have been perfectly fine with it just being weird for the sake of being weird, there's a lot of merit to that. I don't know if I'm gonna jump straight back into it anytime soon because it was very weird. But I will be watching it again. I had a good time, much fun all round. Another first time watch which I kind of wanted to see in a cinema, and I think it was out this year before everything went a little bit tits up. Might be wrong there. And then they finally dropped it on Disney+. That film is Frozen 2. I think at this point you either kind of love or hate Frozen, the first one. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great film. Catchy music, beautiful to look at. Did everything I kind of wanted a Disney film to do, really. A little too long since the first one. I'd kind of forgotten that it was the insanely big thing it was at the time. But, you know, popped around. Why not? Let's check it out. Whacked it on Disney+. I didn't like it, really. I didn't think it was that good. The things I liked about it are that it looked amazing. The animation is just... I constantly keep seeing things in animations at the moment, which genuinely, I sit for a moment and I can't fathom how someone made that in a computer. Frozen 2 is filled with moments like that, and so I have no problems with the actual technical ability of it, the way it looks, the animation's all stunning. It's just sort of a nothing film. I ended it and just thought, I didn't know why we needed that. I mean, obviously they were going to make a second one, but did we really need that? It sets up nicely with like a, ooh, magic everywhere, woohoo! Kind of goes nowhere with it. Just becomes a kind of bog standard, let's go find something and then save something. Sweet. Frozen 2. Can't remember any of the music from it at all. I could not sing you a song from Frozen 2 if there was a bullet going through, well, if there was a bullet going through my head, I wouldn't be able to sing anything. I'd be dead. I'd be dead, Stu. If there was a gun to my head and they were like, sing a song from Frozen 2, I would move it to my mouth and just squeeze the fucking trigger. I didn't really enjoy it. It wasn't very memorable. Another first time watch for me was Water Lilies by Celine Sciamma. I always love going back to earlier films from directors I love now and being able to see where the stuff I love about them has stemmed from, and that's definitely the case here with Water Lilies. I just really enjoy watching these characters. I mean, Adele Haenel is like probably one of my favorite actresses, full stop. I love her and I am always excited to see anything she's in. She was great here as well. Yeah, not much else to say there, really. I just thoroughly enjoyed it. Not my favourite Celine Sciamma film, but really, really solid. I also watched Minding the Gap, which is a documentary I'd heard so many good things about for like the last year, ever since it was first shown at whatever film festival it was first shown at. It's always been there, like, you need to watch it, Stu, you need to watch it, Stu, you need to watch it. And I finally did it, I finally watched it. So yeah, thank you, cheers. Minding the Gap is a documentary about a group of skaters, and we follow them as they kind of grow up. Don't want to go into too many spoilers, because all I knew about it going in was that it was about skaters, and so holy shit, was I blown away when I realized it was this deep. It's just filled with different topics and different themes, and it never feels like it doesn't give any of them enough time. Everything feels like it's touched on in a really genuine, natural way, and it all stems from this kind of central thread of skateboarding and what that does for these guys. I loved it so much, and it's so well edited together. There's so many different threads that are all woven in, and I love the way that it pulls that off, because it's not an easy feat at all. It's honestly probably one of my favorite documentaries I've ever seen. I shit you not, it was that good. I was that blown away by it. And I guess we should talk about Hamilton, shouldn't we? We should probably talk about Hamilton. We should. Hamilton dropped on Disney Plus earlier than we expected it to. I think it was like it's 2021 it was meant to come out, right? This year happened, and Disney were like, you know what? Have it now. Feels weird putting this in my first time watches, because I've seen the stage show of Hamilton twice over here in the West End. I don't need to say that I absolutely adored it, because you could probably guess that I absolutely adored it. It's Hamilton. It's probably the biggest musical of all time, maybe. I seen it. I adored it. Very, very excited to see what it looked like. A, being filmed and like on my TV screen in that way, but also B, with the original cast, who are obviously amazing. And yes, surprise, surprise, to my shock, I know it delivered. It was fucking amazing. Every song obviously slaps. I love finding different moments that I hadn't quite noticed on stage. That original cast though, oh mamacita, they are. Angelica in the original Broadway cast is the one. In fact, all the Schuyler sisters in the original Broadway cast are better than any Schuyler sister I've seen. And obviously Lin-Manuel Miranda as Hamilton is, I mean, he's the fucking man, isn't he? I don't need to say that at this point, but I'm saying it. It translates really well. I was genuinely quite impressed overall at how well they were able to shoot it. Like, it gets up close when it needs to, but it lets you see enough of the stage when you need to. Obviously not as good as seeing it on stage. Nothing's going to compare to that, but I was impressed with it. I loved it. Yeah, awesome. Guess we should move on to some rewatches. Now, if you've watched my stuff before, or you know me in real life, you'll know that I am a criminal rewatcher. It is a little bit of a problem, to be honest. Phantom Thread. I've just thrown tea on the floor. Phantom Thread is a film which exists, and I watched it again. God, it's so good. It's not my favourite Paul Thomas Anderson, but it's slowly getting there. This film's amazing. I genuinely believe this might be the best shot film of the last decade. I'm not fucking around, guys. It's got one of my favourite scores from Johnny Greenwood. Genuinely, this score in this film is gorgeous. It's directed amazingly. I genuinely think it's kind of a masterpiece. I love this film. There's not really anything like it. God, it's good. Tell you what else has still got it. Burn After Reading, which is, I feel like that's the Coen brothers film that a lot of people tend to gloss over, which is frankly a crime, because I genuinely think it's one of my favourite Coen brothers films. I love Burn After Reading. And the other night we were just like, you know what? I fancy it. I'm gonna chuck it on. Still as good as it was when it came out. The cast is so good. I mean, like Tilda Swinton, John Malkovich, Brad Pitt, fucking Frances McDormand. Hello? Is this the perfect cast? I think it is. Everyone is so good in this film, and everyone seems to be having so much fun with their roles in this film that every scene is just so watchable. And I love the way that this film just kind of doesn't give a shit, that it's kind of just doing whatever it wants, and it doesn't seem to ever have a point to it, and that's, I guess, the point of it. Oh, that hurt my head a little bit. But also through lockdown, with Disney Plus finally dropping here in the UK, it's been a good chance to catch up on some old school classics from the Disney catalogue. You know, those nostalgic ones that you watch when you're a kid, and then you go through your whole life like, yeah, they're amazing. They were amazing films. There was nothing wrong with them. You might be able to see where I'm going with this. I've rewatched some Disney films and come to the realization some of them aren't that good, are they? I watched The Rescuers again. Didn't love it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I like the way the animation isn't as like pristine and pretty as a lot of other Disney films. I think that works for the tone of this one. But nothing really happens in The Rescuers. I felt like an absolute monster rewatching this film, because I didn't care about Penny the orphan girl. And that should be the easiest thing to care about in a Disney film. The orphan girl, you should be like, cool, I don't need to hear anything about it. I'm on your side. You're an orphan girl. But Penny, I don't even know what it is. I just don't like her. I like the villain. It's got some fun moments. When I was little, that scene where she peels off her eyelashes, I used to be genuinely traumatized by, and I went through a large portion of my life being haunted by that scene until I quickly realized that fake eyelashes are a thing. She's not actually taking her eyelashes off. So if I could get a time machine, I'd go straight back to my past self when I was about to watch The Rescuers for the first time and just be like, before you watch this, fake eyelashes are a thing. Don't worry, you'll thank me later. See you later. Would have saved a whole world of pain and trauma in my growing up years. But another Disney classic that I rewatched is Peter Pan. And Peter Pan is again one of those films which I saw when I was little. I hadn't really watched for like a decade at least. And you go through your life like, yeah, I remember it was amazing. Peter Pan's a classic story. Who doesn't love the Disney Peter Pan film? And then you rewatch it and you realise Peter Pan is a dickhead. Go and rewatch it. He's a wanker. There's a scene where they just get to the island and all these mermaids are like, hey, fuck you, Wendy. And she's like, rightfully, like, Peter Pan, like, help me out. These are your guys. You just tell them not to be dickheads. And Peter Pan's just like, haha, fuck you, Wendy. Get 'em, mermaids. Yeah, you little bitch. Paraphrasing, but only kind of. And also, this isn't a bombshell to many people, but it has some very, very problematic views on Native Americans. Let's call it what it is. It's racist. And I don't hate this film because it has got a lot of great moments and the animation's nice. There's some magical moments. There's some cute moments that are good. But I don't think right now I can watch it and get past a lot of the tough shit that's in there that is just frankly not cool anymore. Disney's Peter Pan is basically just like cute scene of some magic happening. Oh, Peter Pan's being a dick to Wendy. Another cute scene of some magical, oh, the kids are flying. They're going to the island. Oh, they hate Native Americans. Oh, but there's a pirate and magic. Oh, fairy dust. Oh, he's a misogynist. I do like the pirate shit though. Having said all that, I do like the pirate shit. Weird story as well. Like a guy kidnaps some kids and goes to a fantasy island. It's a weird story. It is. Should we talk about some TV shows as well though? I think we should. It's cold. It is cold now. Normal People is a TV show everyone was like, it's amazing, you're gonna love it, check it out. And you kind of get a bit scared it's not gonna be as good as everyone's saying it is, but I watched Normal People and I fell in love with it. Normal People is so far up my street, it might as well be in my house. How did you get in here, Normal People? How did you get in here? Paul Mescal and Daisy Edgar-Jones are sublime. She's not even Irish, which was a genuine shock to the system. I think I might have just discovered acting, apparently, but she's not Irish. It's crazy. But the thing I love the most about Normal People is the way that it's able to just tap into these different time periods in this relationship without ever feeling like we're missing anything that I want to be seeing, if that makes sense. They're only like 20-minute episodes, there's only like 12 of them, and so there's a risk with something like this that you end up rushing through bits, but it does it perfectly. It is the perfect example of how to pace something like this. Ended it crying like a baby? Of course I did. It was never gonna go any other way, was it? Beautiful to look at, beautiful score. I love the soundtrack to this one, amazingly performed, fantastically directed. I mean, I just adored it. I loved Normal People. I can't wait to see it again and watch it through again, but I am terrified about the emotional damage it's going to do to me going through that all again. But another series that everyone was banging on about, like, you have to watch it, it's amazing, you'll love it, is I May Destroy You, which I think is BBC over here, HBO in the States. It's from Michaela Cole, who wrote, directed, and starred in it. There's not really a huge amount I can say without spoiling too much. Like, the best way to enjoy I May Destroy You is not knowing anything and just letting it take you where it needs to take you. It's just so playful and creative in a way it tackles some genuinely kind of, I don't want to say risky, but like deep, sort of dark themes and topics, a lot of taboos and topics that don't get talked about enough. And that makes for a really, really interesting and engrossing and constantly evolving watch. Like, every episode is different in some way to the other. And that kind of confidence in storytelling and directing is really, really engrossing and makes for a really captivating watch. It can be really funny, really charming, really quirky in one second, and then really, really kind of emotional and powerful in the other. And often in scenes, you won't really know that the kind of emotional beats are coming until they're there. And Michaela Cole is unbelievable in the lead. She's so good. So good. Yes, I loved I May Destroy You. I thought it was incredibly playful, genius in places, creative, perfectly performed. It's so good. Just as good as everyone is saying it is. But on that note, my tea's very cold at this point. Not tea anymore. Very much just cold, coloured water. We've come to the end of another little chat on what I've been watching, but I would love to hear what you've been watching, so let me know in the comments down below whatever you've been watching during lockdown, as we've all had way too much time to watch things. Any first-time watches, any rewatches, any TV series, let me know. We'll have a little chat. If you like this video and you do want to see me talk about more shit, please go ahead and click subscribe. Helps me out. I promise I won't leave it 3 months until the next video. See you guys soon for some more reviews, videos, whatever. It's a free-for-all at the moment. It's very, very hot here in the UK today, so I'm probably getting way more shiny as this video goes on. I'm gonna go dive in a cold shower. I need it, or I might just fall apart as a human being. I mean, I haven't even got any trousers on. No trousers, it's that hot. I'm in my boxers. Chain me up. Put me in a prison. This is outrageous.